Well, we're going now.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, fuck
but you
me.
fucking don't say anything. Right.
Oh,
Hello, welcome back to On the Front Row. And if you haven't already figured out, I'm back. So it's worth listening to again.
fuck you.
I'm Tom.
Yeah, we're really glad to be back. Something to talk about, I suppose, isn't it? I'm Archie.
I'm Harry. Yeah, I mean we've got the Bahrain GP has just happened. Probably one of the most wheel to wheel racing, one of the most wheel to wheel Grand Prix we've had so far. So
Yeah, I wouldn't read my script word for word, mate. I'm fucking awful, I know.
yeah, I forgot the words Grand Prix, to be honest, mate. That's why it all went tits up. But anyway,
Anyway,
Nah,
Bahrain
to be honest,
GP.
yeah, it was good. It was good. It's obviously something. It was worthwhile watching this week. So I'm glad I'm back for it and could actually watch the entire thing. Um, where do we want to start on this?
well, a good place to start would be there was actually some overtakes for once. I mean,
Yeah,
the last couple of races have been uneventful, to say the least. China was a bit slow, but Japan literally had nothing going on throughout the whole thing. But this time we've had a lot of wheel to wheel action, especially from Carlos Sainz and mainly Kimi Antonelli, who has been on an absolute mad one this weekend.
yeah. I was impressed with how he performed today, and I will take back what I said episodes ago in the predictions, where I said he's just not cut out for the sport. This is why I have nothing to do with the recruitment in Formula One, because if it was still up to me, Mazepin would still be here. Um, I was very, very impressed. I don't think where he finished is a true reflection of how he performed today.
No, we'll get
Uh,
on to that because
yeah.
that was a special strategy call from Mercedes.
Oh yeah. Don't
Oh
even
yeah.
get me started. But I think the way he made some of his overtakes, it was well. We were saying obviously while we were watching, it was very Daniel Ricciardo esque, where it's just a dot. If he knows he's got that gap, he's making that move. It's and to be honest, it's nice to see that someone of his age, rookie season, but he's got it, you can tell he has confidence in himself and the car to make that overtake.
I think that's exactly it. It's like not only is he quick, but he'll just fucking go for it. Because what's the worst that could happen? He'll make contact, he'll get a penalty, fine, whatever, or he'll make a place up. And he's taking that gamble every day of the week. Like who was it that he literally on the main straight coming into turn one from fucking miles
Like
back sent it down
absolutely
the
dive
inside.
bombed. I can't remember who it was, but it was
I think it was one of the Hasses, I think, wasn't it?
Um,
Might have been Ocon.
could have been knock on.
yeah, it may have been.
Either
To
way.
be honest, I was more impressed with his Verstappen overtake.
Oh yeah.
He still gave Verstappen the space, something Carlos Sainz could have taken note. Um, he gave Verstappen the space, but he still managed to make that overtake. Didn't let the four-time world champion Max Verstappen bully him into losing that position. He fought as hard as he could, keeping both cars pretty tight to each other, and still made the place. That was that was probably my favorite overtake of his today. It just shows that he ain't afraid to get stuck in.
Yeah,
The thing is,
especially
there's
with someone like Verstappen as well. You can't be afraid to do it because he will just bully you. You've
Yeah,
got to commit to it and show him that you're not pissing about.
well, that's the thing. There's so many overtakes that he performed today. It's hard to choose one that was good or the best one, should I say?
Hmm.
Because they were all pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Um, So we've had such an impressive performance like that from a rookie. Let's go to someone who's probably more of a veteran of the sport. Carlos Sainz.
Awful weekend for him. Well, no, not awful weekend. Awful race. I thought his weekend was pretty good. Williams actually looked. Well, Sainz looked quick on Saturday. Q3 finished 8th. Yeah, he had a pretty good qualifying. However, I don't know what went wrong today. He sort of got to grips with it. He was doing fine to begin with, and then all of a sudden just decided he'd had enough of the actual racing part and wanted to just drive into people.
Yeah, he kind of turned it into a Carlos crash course, sort of midway through the race, where if anybody got near him or tried to make an overtake, he would ram them off track, slam into the side of them, go off track, and then come back on track, putting them both in a compromising situation, and all the while managing not to receive a single penalty until he did. What did he do that even got him that 10 seconds?
He forced someone off. I can't remember who he forced off. It might
Well,
have been Lawson,
there was so
but
many people that he forced off
yeah,
track.
yeah,
So
yeah.
God knows who it was for.
Well,
He just
so
did not look in control of that car at all. The minute someone was putting pressure on him, it's like he panicked, which is not
yeah,
what you'd expect from Carlos Sainz.
not with someone who's been at a top team, who has the experience and the knowledge of, you know, an F1 car. I understand he's new at Williams and it's probably run different to how it is at Ferrari, but that shouldn't take away that shouldn't interfere with your racecraft. Like, you should still know how to be in control of a car and, you know, how to drive. And to be honest, Carlos Sainz usually is good at wheel to wheel racing. He knows when to leave the space, he knows when to make overtakes. I don't know what it was today, but he seemed to lose it all.
Yeah, I just think he started. I think he probably got a bit frustrated. Like he started to drop back in the race, and obviously that just didn't help out. He's just trying to. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I'd imagine it'd be a bit of frustration at that because obviously the Williams today didn't seem that quick in the race.
No, they didn't seem to light it up as they have in previous races. Again, he was dropping places very quickly, but that's because a big chunk of his side pod had come out, which you could possibly blame on him. Obviously, with the contact with Tsunoda, but again, it's a whole thing of, you know, was there enough space, etc., etc. Did he lose the back end? Was he
Well,
struggling? Was he
what,
struggling with tires, etc.? Because it seemed like today a lot of people were struggling with tires, with the wear. Everyone was, well, like Hadjar. I think he went in after
I think it's
7
lap
laps.
7.
Yeah, something like that. So whether that played a part into him keeping it on track and keeping it stable, I don't know. But
I mean, my whole thing with the Sonoda and Sainz little collision that they had, I would be more inclined to, I suppose, be less biased against Sainz if he wasn't already crashing into people, bumping into people, push them off track, you know, late
oh yeah,
moves in
like
corners and stuff like that. I'd be more inclined to be like, oh, okay, let's look a bit more general at the
the
situation. But the fact that it happened with him and Yuki, and the common denominator in all of that is Sainz.
was
I mean,
science. Yeah, to be honest, I was fine. Obviously, coming off the first main, like the first proper DRS straight, where it was him and Verstappen. I was fine with that initially because it was just I'll move over, I'll try and squeeze Verstappen as much as I possibly can while keeping him on track. It then instantly within that one turn, it turned to him just pushing him off, and
yeah,
that sort of carried on for the entire race. If it wasn't pushing people off, it was going into people. And then I think what was what was the most ironic was Tsunoda I believe he locked up going into turn 1. I don't actually know. The replay didn't show it very well, but obviously he goes into the back of Science, and then Science proceeds to piss and moan on the radio as if he's not been doing the same thing the entire race.
Yeah, I do like
I mean-
his engineer's reaction immediately after Science said it was like, yeah, it's been investigated and it's nothing's happening. Just straight away. Like, they could tell he was getting annoyed.
Yeah, I think it is a case, like you said, Harry, it's probably more frustration that he's not getting what he wants out of the car, or he's not getting what he expects from himself. Because he's proven year after year he wants to compete at a high level. And I think he's struggling to come to terms with just where the Williams is at the minute.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
thing is, I mean, it's obviously a step down from the Ferrari last year, but the Williams is not in a bad place.
Not in a
At
bad
all.
place, no. The thing is, he agreed to this because he wanted to be part of a project.
And now he's sort of sitting in that decision that he's made, and I don't think he's a fan of it. Especially because I don't think he's doing as well as he thought he was going to do, or to be honest, what anyone expects him to do. I think most of us thought he'd go in, put up a fight against Albon, and Albon would look like the little guy, but that has just not happened at all.
Yeah, that narrative has definitely changed. It's the other way around. I think Albon has been fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't really think he's put a foot wrong so far this season.
No, I can't think of anything. He's not caused any incidents. He's not caused any crashes or damages or anything like that. He's just been quick, consistent. I mean, I don't know what happened in qualifying. It was to do with Nico Hulkenberg, wasn't it? Something like that.
Well, yeah, the Williams they put him out a bit late, and I think he was just struggling around there. But again, obviously the whole Hulkenberg situation. If the FIA had acted on that quickly, then he'd have been into Q2, and who knows, he might have even gotten into Q3. But again, that obviously that's just something that's happened now. We move on from it. Albon didn't let it affect him. He ran that race as well as he could. We move on.
Well, speaking of, I was going to say,
yeah, I was going to say, speaking of the FIA, I don't know what you wanted to say, but obviously, as we're recording this, the FIA have disqualified Hulkenberg.
What?
So it's, they can act quickly on some things and then can't be asked for another. Yeah, they disqualified him for excessive skid block wear. The exact same for Hamilton.
Well, they did look to be running quite low. We said that about the backmakers because there was so many sparks getting kicked up.
Yeah.
No, that is a shame.
Yeah, not a great weekend for him, and it's probably fucked my fantasy even more. But that's we'll get on that later.
So that is a topic for later. What I was going to say, I can't remember. I was going to chime it in fantastically about good races. Oliver Behrman,
Unbelievable. To go from last to 10th in a car that I'm still adamant it's a bang average car. Like, they've got the points that they have because people got disqualified in China. But yeah, he put up a really good race today. I think he defended well. His start was fantastic.
that was amazing.
He made
three wide into the first corner.
What was it? I think he made 4 or 5 places going into turn 1, and then was just going through there. I think to be honest, he impressed me today. It's never easy to start from the back, at any race, but with how hectic turn 1 can get at Bahrain, starting last and seeing what can happen and potentially being caught up in all the shit that happens. He did very well. I think it's very unfair to him that he didn't get driver of the day.
Oh yeah, I was going to sort of get onto that. Harry, you got anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, just on Behrman, it's just shows that he is really capable even in that hat. Like, obviously, yeah, he had a poor quality yesterday. But it's like we saw in the past couple of races. Well, he had a great quality in Japan.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
it just shows it's little blips, but you should expect from a rookie, they're going to have
exactly.
these little mistakes and stuff, especially in qualifying. It's really high intense, but it just shows how capable of a driver he is, that he can go, you know what, that's all wiped, put my head down and just go for it today and make up five places in the first corner.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But
Ridiculous.
to be honest, that's what I like. If you ignore Australia, I think every single rookie has shown they can be. Wait, not can be, that they are consistent. You take Bortoletto in arguably the worst car on the grid. Yeah, he's still at the back, but he's still fighting. He's still making overtakes. He's not, he's not crashing out or anything.
Yeah, there's not much he can
He's
do with that car.
yeah, he's keeping himself on the track. He's keeping himself in the race. And as a team who's at the back, who probably don't have a lot of money to do upgrades and all that shit, if he does crash, they'll be very appreciative that he's keeping the car in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got obviously the lads in the midfield like Doohan, who his spot was very questionable. You know, he's had his moments, but again, like you said, he's a rookie. He's gonna have moments. He'll learn from them. I thought he had a good race today. Behrman we've been on, very consistent. Antonelli, very good, very consistent. The one that I'm pretty sure I am missing someone, but
Liam Lawson. And Isaac Hadjar.
Hadjar, that's the one. Yeah, again, another one who's shown he is consistent.
Hadjar surprised me. Hadjar,
Yeah,
I've been saying it every week. He just keeps exceeding my expectations. I didn't think much of him. I didn't think, well, he's come third in F2. He's not really been stellar. He's been outperformed. I'd argue that Aaron was the quicker driver out of them two, but no, he's come in and he's absolutely smashed it.
yeah, and it's nice to see. It's nice that we can have, because I think me especially, if you look at the recent rookies that we've had on the grid, Sargent, I'm going to throw Latifi in that, Mazepin, I'm throwing Schumacher in that. I don't care.
No, yeah.
I'll die on that hill. There's 4 from the last 4 years, something like that? 3 years,
5 years now.
5. But there's 4 there that haven't really impressed at all, and it shows because none of them are on the grid anymore.
No, the only other rookies I think that started within that time frame was Tsunoda and Piastri, right?
Yes, yeah. But he's set the world alight. But I definitely want to go on a tangent on him soon.
Definitely.
But you go from those 4 rookies who were arguably, well, Logan Sargent hands down. Logan Sargent and Mazepin are hands down probably the 2 worst I think we've ever seen for a very, very long time.
Yeah, but Mazepin does have the fastest lap.
Exactly. I say this all the time, and you fucking shit on me for it. He did get a fastest lap. But no, you take those 4, very bang average. They weren't gonna impress. To these current 5, who they all look like they have potential. There isn't a single one of them that I think, I don't see these on the grid in 2-3 years' time. I think when it comes to it, I think it's going to be hard to replace some of those because I don't know who deserves to be replaced, if that makes sense. The only one in my mind is Liam Lawson. I don't think he's had a stellar start to his F1 career.
Far from it.
He was absolutely garbage at Red Bull. Admittedly, 2 races, probably unfair to judge him, but still, he had an average starting position lower than Mazepin. So, what does that say?
I think because of those drivers, whenever we hear that a new rookie is coming in, we sort of go, "Oh, they're going to be quite poor,"
Yeah.
especially to start off with. I mean, Schumacher showed signs of improvement, but he just got too crash
No.
prone.
No.
He did.
The only one really that probably deserves to still be on the grid is Zhao, but there's nothing.
Oh, whoa, Nick DeVry.
Fuck off.
Okay.
Not having that.
What, Formula E world champion, mate? Calm
What,
down.
Mr. 32-year-old Nick DeVry? Yeah. Well, while we're at it, we may as well put who's the new Haas reserve driver, the Japanese fella. He did FP1 this weekend. He's like in his 30s. May as well just call him up. But no, I think
Who's that? Iwasa?
no, it's not Iwasa. It's Hirakawa or some bullshit like that. He used to be at McLaren. Anyway, or Alpine. It was one of the two. Anyway, yeah, I think when we hear a rookie's going to join, we instantly go to the very shit ones because they're very notable. Like, for me, I wouldn't think Piastri has only been in this sport for three
This is
years.
Yeah, no, is it third year? 23. Yeah, oh my
So
god, it's his third year.
23. Yeah, well, there you go. See, you wouldn't think that because of how confident, and to be honest, how good he is.
Hang on. Harry's talking to his mum.
Oh, for God's sake, Harry. There's
What's
always
his-
one.
No, I wanted everyone to hear.
Oh, boo. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, Piastri is a different class. You wouldn't think he's been in the sport for 3 years.
well, same as Antonelli, he's unreal.
Yeah, again, he is showing signs of promise. I hope he continues. But like, when you think of a rookie or when you think of a previous driver, you instantly go to the shit ones. One, because it's funny to, take the piss out of them because they had such a bad career, like Lance Stroll, who's still on the grid. But yeah, that's why I think a lot of people are quick to just brush off the rookies and think, oh, these are going to be just, more bang average drivers that probably won't be on the grid. I can see all of these still being on the grid in 2 to 3 years' time. Again, apart from Lawson, but
What about doing?
he's showing signs of improvement because I still think that Alpine is complete garbage.
Yeah, but signs of improvement is not what Flavio Briatore is looking for. He's looking for immediate
Yeah,
performance.
but the problem is he's not going to get immediate performance because the car is shit. He can't even get immediate performance out of Gasly. Had a great race today, but again, like, I could completely understand wanting to replace Doohan if Gasly was getting points every week, but he's
Yeah.
not. He got points today. That's because he had a fantastic quali.
He had a fantastic quality, and he managed to hold up Max Verstappen
Max
pretty
Verstappen
much most of the race.
until the last lap. Genuinely, and that. So for me, if you're thinking, I'm going to get rid of Doohan, it's pointless because Gasly's not getting points either. So give it a couple more races, probably until the season break. If Gasly's starting to score consecutive points and Doohan isn't, then it's fair to get rid of him. But right now, he's doing the best he can in a shit car. Something that can't be said for Liam Lawson.
Yeah. He's showing cracks. And I say he's showing cracks in his armour, not he's bending over and he's got a builder's bum.
I was going to say.
I think obviously getting booted out of Red Bull so quickly has been a knock on his confidence. But how he was, like, he just wasn't there today. Like, he did nothing. He lost places, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure he got a penalty in the end. So yeah, he would have finished like 17th. I can quickly fact check that.
Please do.
But
Either way, it wasn't a great performance from him. Not a good outing. But
I can confirm he did. He finished 16th in the end.
yeah, so
And that's with a Hulkenberg disqualification, just for the
yeah, it's a poor from him. Obviously, it's clearly racked him up a bit, getting booted from Red Bull. But if this is his time to prove himself, to say that, look, I may not have been good in that second Red Bull seat, but I am a good driver. And so far, he's not doing that. Hadjar outqualified him. Hadjar, pretty sure, beat him in the race as well. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry, what's that? Hadjar beating? Yes, he did. Hadjar
So
came 13th.
there you go. That is not what you want to be doing right now, losing to a new rookie teammate. That is not what you need. Else. Speaking of drivers showing cracks, Lando Norris.
Oh, I'm gonna let Harry take the lead with this, as he is the #1 fan.
Yeah, Lando Norris.
I have also seen something about George Russell, so I just want to read about that before I mention it. But I'll let you two crack on with the Lando Norris skit.
Harry?
Archie, you're taking it solo.
Okay.
I'll chime in when you want me to, but
No, yeah. I think it's good to clarify now. Harry's been feeling a bit under the weather recently. Stomach issues, aka the shit.
yeah,
So that might be why he's had to rush off suddenly, because he was going to evacuate his bowels with velocity.
I want to point out I was the exact same, and I still came and did a podcast episode last week.
Exactly. Clearly, someone's heart's in it,
Yeah,
and someone's full of it.
clearly Turbo doesn't want to be doing this.
Right. Well, no one is going to get that, but
No, they don't need to.
okay. Anyway, Lando Norris qualified
Poorly, 6th, but it was
Sixth.
still he has the best car on the grid, and
Yeah.
he still qualified poorly.
Best car on the grid, didn't qualify in the top 5, which is poor, especially considering his teammate Oscar Piastri put it on pole. You know, apparently McLaren's second driver. I hope that changes after today, because he has been absolutely dominant. Nobody touched him. He just incredible. Fastest lap. Stay in first pretty much the whole race, apart from
One
obviously when they
pit
came
stop.
into the pits. But
Yeah.
status quo happened. He's back in front again. Russell nearly had him on the first turn at the start, but no, he just sent it, and he was
Yeah,
gone.
I think if he didn't lock up, Russell would have had him.
But
But that's not
regardless,
who we're on about. We're on about Piastri, fantastic today.
and
There's no fault in him.
Norris did catch up. Norris got second in the end, but I feel like a lot of
He
that
didn't.
was, eh?
Norris came 3rd.
Who came second?
Russell.
Oh yeah, because that was it. That was the other thing. Russell's tracker was malfunctioning,
Yeah.
so it was a lot of we thought he retired at one point because he went from second to 20th, and I had a heart attack because he would have taken an absolute nosedive.
Yeah.
But no, okay. So his teammates still finished on the podium. So Norris didn't have a bad race, but he had a poor quality, which is not what they need. They need what Piastri has done.
I think
Which is
the thing is, I think in McLaren standards, especially this season, that's a poor race for Norris. Yeah, he got a podium, and you can't really be annoyed at getting a podium. But when they've outlined Norris is going to be a world champion, you sort of want him to be doing better. Like for
you want him to
me,
beat his teammate.
yeah, for me when they bought the safety car out and Russell went out on softs and Norris had mediums. After, if you take the events of what was actually going on throughout the race, and softs were only going about 10 laps, by the time lap 11 or 12 comes around, you on mediums should be overtaken. But he was very rarely in DRS, and when he was within DRS, he still couldn't make the move. That's with the best car.
Yeah.
So
It was pretty poor.
But his attitude, his attitude on Saturday after qualifying, he knew, he just knew he weren't going to win.
But that's the other problem, is that Lando doesn't have the mentality.
Yeah, he doesn't
The
have.
fact that he's even turned around and gone, "Oh, my teammate's gonna, he's gonna lap everyone. He's gonna be unbeatable tomorrow." It's like, right,
So I'll
okay,
just have to settle for second, I think was his words. It's
yeah.
like,
Which you
no,
didn't even get that. You got third.
yeah.
Like,
It's you should be giving your 110%
like
all the time.
whenever you heard Max Verstappen turn around and go, "Oh yeah, well, I'm just not even gonna bother because he's way quicker than I am."
Well, yeah, didn't he at some point last season? I think he qualified ninth or whatever. He had a really poor qualifying, and he openly admitted it was a poor qualifying. But he never said, "Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to go for second because everyone else ahead of me is just really quick."
No, he didn't. He went, "I'm still gonna win this fucking race."
And then I'm pretty sure he did win the race.
So
Well, that was it. Brazil. I think it might have been Brazil. He
yeah,
might not have won it, but you get my point. He didn't piss and moan for qualifying poorly and use that as an excuse in the race.
yeah. No, I mean, it just seems like he's getting overwhelmed with it already. Like the fact that already Verstappen is breathing down his neck, and now he's also got this teammate to worry about. It feels like that is way too much pressure for him to handle, and he's acting like that. He shouldn't be turning around going, "Oh, I'm not going to win. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to have to settle for this." No, you've got to be like, right, okay, he's outqualified me, but I'm still going to win this race.
Yeah,
That's what it should be. It's not a matter of. It's just silly.
yeah. It's
And it leads me on to Piastri is the best chance of getting a title at McLaren.
100%, 100%.
I think the only people that can't see that is McLaren themselves. Like I
Well,
understand that.
I don't know. I don't know now, to be honest, because today's performance should definitely outline that Piastri is better. Or, okay, hear me out on this. Not
Oh, Harry, are you back?
entirely.
Sorry, Harry, are you back?
Clearly not.
I have been, yeah.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Oh, when did you get back?
Probably about 5 minutes ago.
I passed the mic over to you and you weren't here. Where have you been?
You probably know where, mate.
Poopy
Gathered.
poop time.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call it that.
I'm gonna call it that. Harry's
No.
special poo poo time.
Carry on.
Yeah. There's a segment. Yeah, Piastri isn't necessarily better. Right. The thing is, he's more consistent and he's got a better mentality than Norris.
And he's quicker, better looking, funnier.
Yeah, you can add them on, right? But that's just because Norris is a fucking he's
Knows how to
boring.
overtake. Knows how to do fast laps in qualifying.
No, Norris knows how to overtake. You got to give him that. He knows how to overtake, and Norris does know how to do a false start.
Yeah, yeah, he knows how
So
to bend the rules a bit.
exactly. So
Still
and
stand by my opinion that should have been a drive-through.
and last week, correct me if I'm wrong, but he did show us he knows how to mow grass. So there's a
Yeah,
lot
there's
of things.
promising.
There's a
There's
lot of things
promising
Norris
careers outside of
knows.
F1.
Oh yeah, 100%. If he ever wants to, gardener,
Landscaper.
then yeah.
Lando's landscaping.
But no,
Thank
I
you.
think
I was holding for an applause there, but thank you.
you weren't getting it. No, in all seriousness, I think Norris is still slightly better, but today has proven they should probably not put all their eggs in one basket, because if they do, and Norris has another poor performance qualifying wise and he can't make positions up, it's going to cost them a championship. So personally say let them race, and whoever does better from, I don't know, Canada or fucking Austria,
should be
or
later than that.
whenever there's a gap.
It should be later than that. It's
Not necessarily, because if there's a sizable gap, which if you look at recent patterns, there is usually a sizable gap by that point between teammates. Not in the actual Drivers' Championship, but between teammates. Then around that time, you just pick whoever's ahead, because that is then your best chance. If by that point they're still fairly equal, sure, give them a few more races, but you have to look at who's been more consistent, qualifying and race-wise. And it's clear to see that is still Piastri. So if they don't prioritise Piastri, they are just going to give up another championship. Because I can guarantee you now, whilst Max finished 6th today, he's going to come back harder. The car's not there, but he ain't going to let that stop him.
no, Max he's one of those drivers that even if he's not in a
Telling you,
decent
put
car,
him in
he
put him
can
in a
still
stake,
fucking
he
make it
probably
there.
gets points.
Oh, I wouldn't say
Well, I don't know, he's
stake.
barely getting points in a Red Bull.
Won last week. I lost 20 quid because of it, but he won. Yeah, won last week. China, couldn't tell you. I think he came out 4th or some shit like that. Australia, couldn't tell you. I think he came out 5th. Regardless, he's getting points, and the car's not there. The car's pretty shit.
No, he got a podium in Australia actually, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. Sorry, because Piastri didn't finish on the podium.
Yeah.
That's my point. The car is shit, and he's still doing fairly good. Like, he's what, 4th in the
Yeah, I mean
constructors
he was
now
second
today,
before this race. Like,
and
it
he
just
was
shows.
second by what was it?
1 point.
A point, yeah. So if McLaren want to keep playing silly bollocks and prioritizing Norris, or fucking just letting those two do whatever, Max will eventually just catch up.
Yeah, I mean
So
he's 5 points behind Piastri at the moment after
well, there you go.
Bahrain.
Yeah, just
So
pick one driver and fucking hopefully pick the right driver. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's obvious that it's Piastri. Just fucking give it to Piastri.
yeah, no, Piastri he's definitely shown he's the more consistent one at the moment. I do feel like Piastri and Norris, they do each have their tracks they're quicker at. But yeah, obviously Australia was a bit of an anomaly for Piastri, but then again he's Australian and that track never works well with Australians on it. But yeah, Piastri's definitely shown that he is the one that, yeah, you put your trust in him, he will not it will not go wrong.
Yeah, so sorry, I was just reading what Norris had to say about his performance. He said he's going to step it up next weekend at
Oh,
Jeddah.
good. I'm glad.
So
Maybe
yeah,
he should have started
Only
doing that
now.
at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's come to terms that he's actually pretty shit.
So obviously we've mentioned Behrman with his 10 place position gain, which again we all think is superb. He didn't win driver of the day though. That honour goes to Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Sir Lewis Hamilton.
He was good. He was good, but I have to admit,
it weren't special.
No, and I actually, you two can give me flack for this, and to all of the viewers as well, you can also probably give me shit for this.
Oh God, we're back.
Right? Oh, we're so back. I've come back for a live, a live recording. Come back for a recording, and I've got a hot take.
Please.
Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc only finished where they did because of Ferrari's strategy. Actually had nothing to do with them. Ferrari actually nailed a strategy for once.
No, they didn't nail a strategy.
Yeah, they did.
No. They didn't nail a strategy. They didn't have a choice but to do that strategy.
Well,
They didn't have
they
any
don't.
soft
No,
tires.
whoa. They had a choice because Charles Leclerc said, "I actually think that Delta plan is better," and they basically said, "Shut the fuck up and drive. We're doing Bravo." And where did Bravo get him? Fourth.
He
So
did also. I'm sure he did say as well. Like, yeah, this is good. This is right.
yeah, originally they said, "Look, we're going to stick to Bravo," and he said, "No, I want to do Delta." And then I'm pretty sure, like 5 laps later, he agreed that Bravo was the right choice.
Yeah.
Give me shit all you want. Ferrari nailed a strategy for once.
Yeah, but it's hard to fuck up a strategy when you've only got 2 tire compounds to choose from.
Hey, they did that in Canada last year and still gave fucking Leclerc hards in the wet. So don't put it past them.
Okay, fine, but if they brought wets to Bahrain, then they are a special kind of something.
Well, yes, but if you see trickles of rain at any circuit, Archie, you surely just put inters or wets on, not slicks like they did.
Okay,
This
fine. I mean, that
ju-
was special
just
even for Ferrari standards. But my
just
point,
just give it to them that Ferrari strategists actually did something positive for
okay,
once.
all right, yeah, but you're saying it was a good strategy. No, it
It
wasn't.
was.
It wasn't a good strategy. It was just a strategy that wasn't shit. There is a difference. It was
Which
it
is
was no,
Ferrari's specialty.
yeah, but you can't award them for like
I'm
going. Oh, well
I'm
done.
awarding them that.
You have done the bare minimum.
All right, all
Well
right. No,
done.
well, if you want to if you want to take it that way, right? It's the exact same thing for fastest pit stop. You are putting a team for doing what is their job. So I'm just saying,
No,
if
no,
we're
it's
going no, if we're going to appreciate people with fast pit stops, I'm appreciating the Ferrari strategists because no one else does it because they admittedly are shit at their job. Today they've done it right, and I hope they go home, celebrate that they've actually done well for once, because I know next weekend they're going to go back to their usual shit ways, and they will probably put Hamilton into an early grave. So
by
praise them today. That is it. Let's move on because
no, by your
no.
analogy of the
Oh, here
pit,
we go.
by your analogy of the pit crew, go, oh, well done, they're the fastest. Oh, you've done the bare minimum. No, in Ferrari's case, it's like going from a 10-second pit stop consistently to maybe 5. And it's like, oh, well done. It's an improvement, but it's still not great. It's not fantastic.
Oh, look, they did their job. That's all that matters. That it got on fourth and fifth. So I don't care. That's my piece. I'm moving on. I've got a couple of fun facts about today's race. So I want to make this a segment. So today, Piastri's winning margin was the largest of the season at 15.5 seconds. I
Okay.
think when was the last time? Well, I'm pretty sure Verstappen was the last person to have over a 10-second win,
Must have
because
been.
I remember pretty much most of last season and definitely the season before. If you went on Bet365, the odds were better for him to win over 10 seconds than they were to win under.
Well, I know
It was
Lando's.
almost free money if you just put a tenner on every week him to win over 10 seconds.
I know Lando's Singapore last year. That was like 35 seconds or something. That was mental.
Yeah, and his Zandvoort as well.
Mm-hmm. But I
Mm.
don't know who the last person was to finish over 10 seconds.
It
But
was
again,
it
that
was
just
probably
proves.
Lando in Singapore, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, probably some fucking. I'm not googling that because.
So that wasn't a fun fact then. You just.
Well, it
You just.
was. It was a
No, you just.
fact. No, I never said it'd be fun. I just said it's a fact.
No, you said I've got
Right,
some fun facts for you, and you just stated a fact that was barely a fact. So, oh,
right,
I think it's
all
the
right.
first time since this, and it was like, no, that bit was incorrect. The Piastri part finished 15
I'm gonna
seconds.
come in there and
Full laps out.
absolutely fucking batter you in a minute. First, it's the fucking Ferrari. Just agree with me with Ferrari, just for once. That's all you need to do.
No, because that will give me hope, and that hope will flourish into something brighter that will eventually get snuffed out.
Yeah,
Carry on
fair.
with your facts, Tom.
Nah, fuck the facts, right? It is also Red Bull's first double points of the season, which for a team that have pretty much dominated Formula One for the last 3 years, that's pretty poor.
That is, yeah, that's mental. I do have a fact.
Thank you.
Oh god, here we go. Go on.
I don't know whether you're gonna. Have you got any more, Tom?
Let's-
Or
No, I don't want to fucking say my facts anymore. I actually don't appreciate them.
okay. Well, I'm sure I heard you speaking about this earlier when you were watching the race. The Bahrain track is older than
Oh,
two of the drivers
Yeah. That's
who
crazy.
were driving on it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
ridiculous. That track was laid in 2003.
Yeah, I know.
Who those drivers were?
Huh?
Do you remember who
Wait.
those drivers were, Harry? Were you
It'd
paying
take-
attention to
it'd
Tom's
take a
phone?
wild
Snelling
guess.
and Behrman.
Yeah, take a
Okay,
wild guess.
all right.
Who are the only children on the grid?
Oh, Tommy, you're going to applaud him for that? Just like Ferrari's
Well, are
strategy
you?
team. You're going to applaud him for that as well?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the simple things I get pleased by. Just because you're a fucking grouch doesn't mean everyone else has to be.
Jesus.
Fuck you. All right.
I've come back with so much energy. Right,
look.
I can't wait for all of this to be drained by next week.
Always come back with a
Go on,
vengeance. I think it's annoyed we put him in 38 minutes into the episode.
Box me right off. Yeah, actually, can we take a tangent on that?
No,
That
no.
really
God,
pissed me.
God
Shut up.
forbid you
Shut
listen
up,
to your own
right?
podcast. God
That
forbid.
really fucked me off. I was just sat by the pool, feet up, and I thought, I got a notification on my phone that the YouTube video had been uploaded. I was like, wicked. I'm going to put this on, right? I was sat
On
next
that
to the
note,
missus.
hit the notification bell.
Yeah, thank you. Right? See, that's how much I'm dedicated, right? I was connected, my AirPods connected. I had one pod in, missus had the other, right?
Jesus.
And we've put it on, right? And I'm thinking, this is gonna be bliss. I made my 5-minute appearance. I've made me a little 5-minute video earlier, sent it off because I couldn't be asked to do anything else. They'll surely put it at the start and go off that. Nope, did they bollocks? 38 minutes of whatever, and then I can't remember what it was. One of yours, but we're like, should we play his recording now? Right, 38 minutes in, sound. The video was 44 minutes long. So you clearly ran out of filler and thought, let's just put his fucking little tangent in.
Well, that's
and
what
then,
you are, Tom. You are filler.
oh my God, shut your mouth. Right? And then I don't know who had the cheek to say, I'm on the second row, right? But you can get bollocks with that.
That was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
that
done,
was
Harry.
fantastic. But
Well done.
fuck you.
Yeah, I'll take.
On the second row. You've been in the shitter for most of this episode.
Yeah, that's fair. I've taken your
Yeah, you
your
fucking
spot
have.
today.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
It was quite funny.
Fucking-
Go on then, Tom. Go back to your fun little facts.
I've fucking well, here's a fun fact. I've learnt not to have a holiday if I want to do this podcast.
Damn
I'm
right.
fucking demoted. But mate, you'll give me job of editor next, and no one wants to do that.
Not even Harry, who's
Exactly.
Okay, now it could be worse. We're still waiting on a piston logo.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, in fact, I need to get it back up now though. In all of that fucking sorry, I am just
In the meantime, it was also Piastri's 50th race.
Yeah, it was, to be fair. It was
As well.
also McLaren had only led 8 laps ever before today and had not led a lap since 2007.
What, in Bahrain, you mean?
In Bahrain.
I was going to say ever.
Yeah,
That's
obviously
not
not ever, you thick fuck, because they fucking won 2 weeks ago.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I was like, wow. It was
Jesus.
very fun fact.
Yeah, that'd been great. That's me done for fun facts. No one appreciates them. So
I appreciate your fun facts.
Nah, that's
I don't appreciate your bullshit opinions.
the little segment that I wanted to bring, to bring bit of diversity, bit of versatility to this
I enjoyed it, Tom.
podcast.
I enjoyed
Did
it.
you? Well, maybe round of applause, please. Get a soundboard on here. Oh, that's what we need next.
I'd love to get a soundboard on it. we'll have to fill it up with various pipes.
It'd get very dangerous.
Oh,
Oh, for God's
oh my
sake.
God. Where was that? Where was that
Yeah.
a minute ago?
Where was that for Archie's shit joke that he made like
I
20
mean,
minutes ago?
They wouldn't be able to hear it. Oh, they might be able to hear it on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they can.
Can we get a drum roll, please? Is there a drum roll on? Okay.
If you haven't figured out by now, I think the episode's over and we're just trying to figure out if we can use a soundboard for next week.
No, the only drum roll one is.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's great. That can get used
Keep
a
that on
lot.
hand. Keep
Yeah.
that on hand.
That could,
You realise you
that
can
could
find
be
them as well.
tasty.
Yeah, where?
You know, on Discord, go down to the bottom and there's like also like a celebration emoji. It says open soundboard.
How do I add a sound?
I've ended up playing a game. I've played a game. Thanks, Harry.
not activity.
Did we all hear
the
that?
one to the right of it.
Did we all hear that?
No.
Oh, how do I do it?
You just search for sound and then press on it.
Oh my God, I can download sounds. I can download custom sounds.
You can add sounds.
Sorry, am I not getting this? Where the fuck are you
So you
finding
see where it
this?
says voice connected?
Okay, this is now is not the time to do this.
No, I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, got it. We're all right.
So I'm giving it a dum. That'll do. Fuck it.
That'll do.
Okay, this podcast is gonna take a turn for the better.
Such a nosedive. Right.
I was gonna say, what are fantasy leagues? How are we all looking?
Oh yeah, should we get them up?
Yes.
I think we should always just end the episode on a fantasy league. Let the viewers know how shit we're doing.
Oh yeah.
Don't hit me with an oh yeah because.
So can we get the soundboard ready, please? Can we get the
Taking the
ready.
fucking Michael. Hold on, I need to load. No, whoa, I haven't even fucking figured mine out yet.
Harry,
hello.
Hit it.
Are you taking the Michael?
Last place is Tom. Still.
Yeah, it's shock. How the fuck? Whoa.
Someone's not happy.
No, I'm not because I put a DRS boost on Verstappen and he does shit. I knew I should have put it on Piastri.
Do you know what the worst part is, Tom?
Go on, elaborate.
It's still calculating for Bahrain, so it hasn't taken into account Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg, yeah, I know. I know. Thank you, Harry.
Now I heard Archie.
Yeah.
How did you two boys do? Oh, 194. Oh, mate, go outside. You're so chronically online. It's unbelievable.
I don't know how I got 170.
Shut up, Harry.
No, seriously, I don't.
No, you haven't yet because Hulkenberg still isn't counted.
Well, it still doesn't make sense. So I had Norris who had 46. Ferrari had 44. Behrman had 11. Hulkenberg had 3. Gasly had 9. Hadjar was -2, and Williams was -9.
Yeah, all right. I don't know. I don't make the fucking rules.
Fuck you.
Well, cool. That was the fantasy.
So Harry's still winning. I got the most points this weekend, thankfully, but I'm still second.
To be honest, I'm only 27 points behind. It's not good enough, really. But look, just like Lando Norris, I'm, gonna come back stronger next week.
And much like Piastri, Harry's just going to be out in front with no one touching.
No. Look, I'm gonna step it up. What?
Good. You need to.
Fucking.
I think you've been in last consistently the whole time.
Oh no, I actually haven't. I was second. Well, no, to be honest, I was first at Australia, and then the race happened, and then I went last. And then I was. Fuck, we should not have found a soundboard. And I think I was second after China, but it's taken a nosedive since. I can hear him giggling in the next room. I don't know why. Yeah, you can't hear it. Like, it won't pick up on his mic. He's chuckling away, and I don't know why, and that worries me.
You can kind of hear the occasional, just like.
Yeah, I know. You can hear the odd shorter, but
I'm so happy we have a soundboard.
oh god, no.
This is gonna be so ready for next week. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. Do you know the best thing is as
It's
well,
gonna
Archie?
be
Any
amazing.
sounds you add into that soundboard for OTFR pod, we can use as well.
Oh my god.
So
I love that so much.
you go for it, mate.
Oh, well, I think on that note, that's a wrap for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yeah, we spent most of the time talking about this fucking soundboard.
Soundboard, yeah. It's so good to be back. I don't have to record in a shit air-conned like room.
And you can actually have your opinions voiced at the start.
Don't piss me off. I'm telling you, when one of you decides to go on holiday and I have to two-man it, you aren't even getting a feature. You should be grateful that I actually put some effort in last week. I didn't have to.
Oh, God forbid you put effort in once every 2 weeks. Well done.
Hey.
Me and Harry have carried this podcast while you selfishly went abroad with your missus.
Yeah. I wouldn't say carried. Oh.
Oh, please. We've had some very good podcasts on some very, very uneventful race weekends, I'll have you know. And we've done a very good job, and I'm proud of me and Harry. And you weren't there, and you wouldn't have even listened to it if you knew you weren't in it. You arrogant piece of shit.
Yeah, to be honest, I completely forgot to listen to the China one. I don't know what you did after China. There was a week break, weren't there?
We talked about Red Bull.
Did you do one? Oh yeah,
yeah, we did. Oh yeah, there we go. There's dedication to the cause. He doesn't even check it out. He's only ticked the notification bell because he knew he was going to be in it, and then he's upset because we didn't put him in first fucking 5 minutes, so he didn't have to. So he unfortunately had to listen. You know what? Everybody don't listen to this podcast because evidently Tom doesn't either. Don't even bother listening to it. It's shit. It's a shit podcast, and nothing is worth it.
Right. I'm
yeah.
ending it now.
On that note, we're done. That's a wrap.